lab leak theory gains new momentum. Will the Biden administration put real pressure on China to come clean, or will they stand by while Americans continue to die from this horrific virus? Let's get into it with tonight's party panel. We've got townhall.com political editor and host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio. It's Guy Benson. We've got author of The Liberal Invasion of Red State America and a columnist at The Hill. Kristen Tate is back with Democrat strategist, radio host, and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Welcome, one and all. Leslie, I think we look great in green. I'm very happy that we're twinning. So, Guy, I read the Wall Street Journal article about the lab leak, and they laid out a pretty convincing case. And if you use Occam's razor with the fewest postulations to get to the conclusion, that starts to make more and more sense. What are you reading, and what are your thoughts?
Well, I had Secretary Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State, on the radio today. I asked him about this, and he said based on the evidence that he has seen and the intelligence that he has seen, I assume he was talking about what's available publicly, the evidence really is mounting that this could have been a lab leak. This man, of course, was CIA director at one point as well. So I am very eager to see the truth come out. I do not expect China to be a part of the truth coming out. They are doing everything they can to avoid it, including setting up a fake little Potemkin investigation with the WHO. I think this is not just an opportunity for Americans to demand the truth from China. It's also to demand some accountability from the media, because as you pointed out, people who suggested and postulated this might be the case were absolutely ripped and ridiculed as conspiracy theorists and irresponsible potential warmongers, Senator Tom Cotton and others, based on nothing. Based on people saying we don't think that's true, and the elite consensus is it's not true, and therefore this is disinformation. Well, it might in fact be real and the truth after all. And I would like to know if anyone who was part of that pile-on at the time might raise their hand and say, oh, wow, I was wrong and that was irresponsible. Again, not really holding my breath.
So, Kristen, let's talk about that a little bit. I don't think this should be a Republican-Democrat left-right issue. I think we really need to get to the truth. And if you're looking at the truth, you have to look at all options until you have disproven the ones that don't make sense anymore, that don't hold up. And it's the animal-to-human transmission one that takes more of a logical leap at this point. As we're learning more and more about the funding for the Wuhan lab and the gain-of-function research that has been taking place there for years, including U.S. diplomats in China who had been warning that this type of research was going on, and they were trying to let this country know. Why has it been so easy to dismiss that along political lines?
Well, it's because of the media, Kennedy. I mean, for the last year, the media has been insisting that any suggestion that COVID may have leaked from a lab is just a conspiracy theory. And instead of actually asking questions, doing investigations, and following the evidence, journalists just all embraced this knee-jerk sort of dismissal of that idea. But now we know that the leak theory is viable. I mean, a bunch of respected scientists just signed a letter stating that. And there's just a pile of evidence that COVID probably came from a lab. I mean, one point is just that this virology lab in Wuhan has a history of accidents. Several of the staffers who worked there came down with flu-like symptoms in fall 2019. So if this was a lab accident, it would be one of the greatest errors in human history. I mean, 3.4 million people have died of COVID. So the question becomes, if this was a lab accident, what will be done to hold China accountable for being so irresponsible? And, you know, I don't think they will be held accountable. The Biden administration has shown it is feckless when holding China accountable.
I don't know that any recent administration has been terribly good at that. Leslie, we just have to make sure this doesn't happen again. And if it could happen the way that we are hearing, and if it could have made these leaps and, you know, gone through juiced up viruses, as Senator Rand Paul calls it, then what's to stop it from happening again? Because China has not put measures in place, and certainly has not been transparent about any measures that, safeguards to protect their population and the world population. And that scares the bejesus out of me, Leslie.
Well, I think you're right to be scared, Kennedy, because I love Peter Doocy, but when he asked Jen Psaki about China caring about American lives, I had to chuckle, sadly, because they don't care about Chinese lives. Certainly they don't care about American lives. They don't care about transparency. They care about money. They care about power. And they certainly don't want to get caught, whether it's an animal at one of their markets or a lab that leaked. Look, right now, either way, it's circumstantial. 80,000 approximate animals have been tested. They weren't able to find a connection yet. But in 2003, the grandfather of this current virus actually was linked over a long time to an animal that was found that was sent to a market 600 miles from where Wuhan is. Now, the lab, yes, that is a possibility. We heard the CDC director say that. And quite frankly, because China, when scientists went over there, wouldn't let them into the lab and probably never will.
That lady's records are still
like you
sealed.
Do, Kennedy, that we may never know. We may never know.
That's not acceptable. We may never know is not acceptable when 3 million people have died from this virus. And if it were from an animal and you tested 80,000 animals, test 800,000 animals. How about that, sister? All right, the pandemic has obviously been very costly for the U.S., and President Biden's solutions, they're quite expensive. Because of that, the government wants to stick more hands in your pockets. Kinky. A new Treasury report reveals President Biden hopes to pay for all his wacky trillion-dollar programs by hiring more IRS agents to nitpick through your returns. Bring it on, Lois Lerner. Great. Creepy new powers. Fox Business reporting the IRS wants direct access to your bank account information. So not a penny of your cash flow goes unrecorded. So how do we keep these jerks out of our wallets? Guy Benson, this is egregious. I have been aggrieved.
Yeah, I'm so old that I remember 2013, and I remember the IRS having been exposed, just abusing a bunch of political enemies of the party in power, i.e. the Democrats, and they denied it, and the Democrats said no, no, and then it was just sort of briefly admitted at some conference somewhere, and they said, oops, sorry, and there were some lawsuits. I do not want to empower the IRS further and hire many more agents to be combing through any of our information. This is an agency that does not deserve our trust. I know they have a job to do, but it's a contemptible one. Necessary, but I don't think we need them to be any more powerful or any bigger, because when they've had a lot of power in the past and they have a ton, they've abused it already.
And they will continue to abuse it. And the IRS will be used as a giant stick to beat political enemies into submission, depending on which party is in power. I don't trust either of them, Kristen, and I think this is incredibly dangerous. We are going to fly down this slope. It's not just slippery. It is covered in greasy innards. And we are on a fast track to authoritarian hell here. Taxation is theft. Your thoughts?
It's absolutely terrifying. Taxation is theft. But the natural consequence of this, of course, is that people will stop using banks, right? I mean, banks already barely give us any interest. So people will pull their money out of the banks, start storing cash in safes. I mean, I know a lot of people who already do that. Cryptocurrencies will skyrocket in value. People will keep putting their cash into gold, silver, other hard assets. Look, people want financial privacy. They want their privacy, and if the IRS is going to be empowered to this kind of level, people will find a way to hide their cash. Amen. Whether legal or illegal, they'll find a way to do it.
That's the wonderful thing about cryptocurrency is people who don't have a lot of money, because it's not just the rich people who are going to practice legal tax avoidance. Everyone will do it. Guy Benson has just pieced out. There's a ghost in his machine. There's nothing I can do there. Leslie Marshall, I'll come to you, because I feel like we might be in a little bit of agreement here, Leslie.
Yes, because I'll tell you, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican in the White House who has majority in the House or the Senate. I think I echo many American sentiments when they say, I hate the IRS. And I know I say hate is a strong word to my children, but I mean it. And there's a reason hate's a four-letter word when it comes to the IRS. Look, there are a lot of people out there that feel that they're paying far too many taxes, and there are very wealthy people who are hiding their money in other countries like Kuwait or the Bahamas. When I was on spring break, and you know, one of the things I saw corner after corner after corner were banks. Yes. They survived when every other business didn't survive hurricanes or the COVID pandemic. So I don't like the IRS U.S. having more power. I don't like a further invasion of privacy because this will hurt the middle class and the lower class more than the top 1% and 2% who have the money to hire somebody to hide the money all over the world.
The goal, Leslie, is to get as rich as we possibly can before all this takes effect, so we can take our money, our Bitcoin, our gold, and not just Bitcoin. I mean, come on, baby. We got other crypto investments here. We're sophisticated people, and go buy a private island in the Bahamas. I like it. All right, the party panel returns a little bit later. Time for America's favorite new game, Say It and Joe. Our president likes to tell everyone that he's no socialist, by gum. We did a little digging. It turns out he often sounds a lot like some of the world's most notorious commie dictators. So here's how the game works. I'm going to read a quote. The panel has to guess whether it's from Joe Biden or one of history's worst lefty tyrants. We're also going to throw in some movie villains just to make things interesting. An added bonus, the winning panelist gets an all-expense-paid trip to the Eastern Front. Yay! Guy, Kristen, and Leslie, are you ready to play Say It Ain't Joe?
Ready.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Guy Benson, boom! This is question number 1 for you. Something must be done to save humanity. A better world is possible. Who said it? Joe Biden, Fidel Castro, or Cruella de Vil?
I'm going to say Fidel.
No. Yes, you're right, actually. It was Fidel Castro. You get a point. I don't know why I said no. I was throwing a tantrum. You're in the lead, Guy. Do you want to quit now while you're ahead? Don't do it. Let everyone play.
Especially since you tried to rob me.
Okay, Kristen, here you go. No one should have to choose between a job and a paycheck or taking care of themselves. Who said it? Joe Biden, Ho Chi Minh, or Norman Bates?
That's a very socialist quote, but it's also very dumb. So I'm going to go with Biden on that one.
You are on the board, Kristen Tate. Joe Biden said it. Said it and forget it. Different meaning there. Question 3. This is for Leslie Marshall. She's a Democrat. She may know this. The bourgeoisie are today evading taxation by bribery and through their connections. We must close all loopholes. Who said it? Joe Biden, Vladimir Lenin, or Ursula? I love Ursula.
Lenin.
Lenin is right. We make this game too easy. I'm going to break your feelings in round 2. Okay, here we go. Guy, you're tied. Tie Guy. It's time to grow the economy from the bottom and the middle out. Who said it? Joe Biden, Vladimir Lenin, or Agent Smith?
Yeah, the bottom and the middle out is a big, weird catchphrase that's been focus grouped by the Democrats, so I'm going to go with Biden.
Biden is correct, Guy Benson. All right, Kristen, here we go. This is question number 2, just for you. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. Ooh, who said that? Joe Biden, Leon Trotsky, or Hans Gruber?
Trotsky.
Biden. You are wrong.
Oh.
You're going to be wrong forever in the whole world. No one is listening to anything you say now. You are done. I am no longer talking to you. I'm just kidding. That was harsh. You didn't get it right, though. Guy's in the lead. Leslie, you can catch up here and go to the Eastern Front, perhaps. The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Who said it? Joe Biden, Che Guevara, or Gordon Gekko?
I'm going to go with Shay.
No. Greed is good, Leslie. You should have been greedy. It's Gordon Gekko. Guy Benson can now pull into a commanding lead here with his next. Are you ready, Guy?
Yes, but I kind of feel like I should deliberately lose because I don't want the prize.
Yes, you do. It's going to be so great. I'll give your boots to Mueller. Okay, construction is an important front for solidifying the foundations of a thriving country and creating bases for the people's happy life. Who said it? Joe Biden, Kim Jong-un, or Odd Job? Oh, I love Odd Job. He's so cute.
He's either the guy who throws hats. I'm going to go with
Now you know my kink.
Kim Jong-un.
Oh, you're right, Guy Benson. You're so good at this game. Did someone give you all of these answers because they love when you guest host?
It's clever.
All right, Kristen, here. You can not catch up with this one, but you can be on your way. If we act, we can save the planet, and we can create millions of jobs and economic growth and opportunity to raise the standard of living for everyone in the world. Who said it? Joe Biden, Che Guevara, or the Red Skull?
Well, the incoherence of that statement has me leaning towards Sleepy Joe. I'm going to go with Biden.
And you are right. Just 1 point away from Guy Benson. You're both going to go to the Eastern Front, I have a feeling. Leslie, this is for you. You can catch up right now to Kristen. We will press forward with the speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and possibility. Ooh, big words. Who said it? Joe Biden, Vladimir Lenin, or Magneto?
Joe Biden.
And Joe Biden is correct, Leslie. It is a 1-point game. 1 point separates all of you. Well, the two of you from Guy Benson. Okay, here's the speed round. This is worth 2 points. Anyone can win here, kind of. Unless Guy gets it, then you're screwed. Guy, insurrection is an art, and like all arts, has its own laws. Who said it? Joe Biden, Leon Trotsky, or Kaiser Sose?
Kaiser Sose. I'm going to go with Trotsky. Was that the second option? Whoever the commie was.
The commie was Trotsky, and Guy Benson, you now have 5 unbeatable points. Kristen, you cannot win, but here's one more. We're going to reward work, not just wealth. Who said it? Joe Biden, Fidel Castro, or Jafar?
Castro.
It was Biden. Leslie, 2 points for you if you get this. It's the things we love that destroy us. Who said it? Joe Biden, Fidel Castro, or President Snow?
Castro.
No, it was President Snow, the real president. Stop the steal, Leslie. All right, Guy, congratulations. You're paying
Can I, as my victory prerogative, can I actually give my prize to Leslie?
Yes, you can. Congratulations.
Oh,
Leslie.
you're so bad.
So
Guy, I didn't want to tie with you because I thought we'd have to go to the Eastern Front together.
Yay!
And that I lost on purpose.
Field trip, thank you.
We've avoided that one.
All right,
Enjoy.
Party panel, thank you so much. Great Thursday night. Guy, Kristen, and Leslie, fantastic.